What's up? This is Chris Dem from the Two Guys Named Chris Show on Rock 92 in Winston-Salem. And you're listening to the Hoppy and Super Rich Show.
Man, you like this beat? It like pumps you up. It makes you want to like go rave or something.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you want to go to Zero Gravity and hang out with the Drop Zone?
Let's do it.
All right, Ryan, who do we have on the phone line?
All right, on the phone line we have Dexter. What's going on, Dexter?
Well, so much for Hoppy doing exactly what I told him to do.
Well, no. Wait your turn. Don't be so aggressive.
Apparently he's getting to it. I don't know.
He is a legendary media and political consultant. He entered the radio. I entered at the age of 19. He's been in it since 15. He was the aide to a former Ohio congressman, and it says,
oh, wow.
It says leave the name out, which I will. All right. Graduate of the Reserve at Georgetown, and in 2008, is it the best part? This is actually what gives you credibility. You got to work alongside Hillary Clinton during her presidential campaign.
Don't say that too loud because people might start shooting through my window. Thanks for having me. It's weird seeing you during the day with your clothes on.
It's weird that I'm now like on the air at night in my pajamas doing questionable things.
It's true. He does that.
And what's with all the Twitter handles? It's like I'm looking at all the Twitter. It's like you guys have more Twitter handles than ISIS.
Well, wait, what do you mean? Like, well, I mean, do you mean like every co-host or like Hoppy's Road and Hoppy_Super Rich?
No, I mean, I think you're like the king of self-adoration, I swear to God.
I'm the king of self-promoting because I have at Hoppy's World, which is my media network, hoppysworld.com, Hoppy_Super Rich, which is the show we're on now. And then I plug all the co-host Twitter's account, trying to get them follows. And then, of course, we're on The Edge on air, so I'm promoting The Edge. So, yeah, I would watch...
And he's also number one in all nursing homes in the Chicago area. He can be heard so loudly everywhere.
And I'm number one across with crazy broads and people with schizophrenia on overnight radio.
I want to say thank you both for having me today. As you can imagine, it's been a very, very difficult day given my job. So it's nice to come and relax with you guys. So thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, because nothing says relaxing like listening to my voice ranting. Nothing says, hey, let's kick back from a hard day like talking to Ryan Hoppy. But I appreciate you coming on. So you're in Cleveland, and there's this whole thing going on with Ebola.
Right now, but, yeah.
Okay, well, what is your take on everything going on with Ebola? Because I was listening to Rover's Morning Glory this morning, which is out of Cleveland, and it's just... this whole thing that's happening, I feel like this could have been prevented if people weren't dumb. So explain to the audience what happened, and then we'll give our take when you say something.
Well, first of all, I want to tell everybody I'm not a doctor.
Oh, really? So, I wasn't sure about that.
If you have
Thank you for clarifying.
Well, no, I'm going to be talking about something that if you have questions, you need to contact your doctor in the emergency room.
Or go on WebMD.
So nobody sues you or sues me. So
right.
I'm not a doctor. This is for entertainment and just kind of a little bit of lighthearted news right now. So go to your healthcare provider if you need medical attention.
Okay.
My take is this. I think as Americans we have a very, very short memory. And I've had a couple people tell me today, and I've had to do this bit 30 times today on various media outlets because of this huge backlash in Ohio of this woman, this nurse that was on a flight from Cleveland to Dallas. And let me just say, I'm proud to know, and maybe I have to use crayons here, but I'm proud to know that Cleveland has the largest airplane that's a secret in the world because entire school districts are closed because they're saying employers are coming to them telling them that they were on the plane with her. Then you've got businesses such as Ford Motor Company in Cleveland saying, they're shutting down part of the plant and calling in the hazmat team because somebody there was on a plane with her. This had to be the biggest plane in the world.
I know.
I mean,
exactly.
This is the largest friggin' plane that ever existed. Everybody in Northeast Ohio knows this chick. I don't know who she is, and it's like, I mean, it was just like I've had to tell people that this is, I'm listening to the reports, and every time they come out, they'll say the Medina County School District, Summit County, businesses, and on and on and on, and I'm like, this has to be a 1,200-seat plane.
And then here's my thing. Here's my thing. If she really needed to go home to see her parents in Cleveland, which is what she did, and she went to Kent and she visited, and you have this, why not drive? I know it's less convenient and it takes more time, but how about you consider the people around you and you don't go on a plane?
Well, first of all, she says that, and I want to give her all the. I'm very sorry that she's sick.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm sorry that she's sick, and I commend her for. She treated a man who was dying and did die. So I really do. I respect her for that. But this was a very bad judgment. She called the CDC. A representative from the CDC. She said that because she was a nurse, that she was self-monitoring. Now, if I wanted to go home from wherever I'm at, and I have, they say anybody with a temperature of 100 degrees, 100.2, whatever, above, could not fly. Conveniently, her temperature was 99.5. Nobody verified that, so like I said, if I wanted to get the hell home, I'd make up any number. And, I'd use my blood alcohol number and say, okay, well, I'm fine, let's go. The panic in Cleveland before I left is the atmosphere is so surreal. And if I could just have, your older audience, I go back to, and they said, well, we've never seen anything like it. Yeah, we have. Look at HIV. I'll just use that as an example. They were killing people. People were so scared. People were dying. I mean, HIV was so huge in the 80s, and we do not stop and go back and look at our own flipping history. It's just, and so everybody with this panic in Cleveland and surrounding areas, I do have a fact, and this is a fact. I know that in this day and age, people may not understand what the word fact is.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
In 2013, approximately 13,000 deaths occurred because of a gun. 13,000. So
yes.
Keep that number there. Then there was approximately 33,000 car crashes that ended in a fatality. Okay, so take those numbers, those big numbers, and add them together.
So you have 13,000 deaths because of a gun, then you have 30,000 deaths because of a car crash. I'm writing this down.
33.
33, okay.
33,000. So you've got, 45,000?
Yeah.
You got? I'm checking because I know, where you are.
I'm running it down on my notepad, so, yeah, it's 45,000.
So it's 45,000. 45,000. Listen, people. Listen. 45,000 people last year died from a gun or died in a car accident. 45,000 people. Ebola, 1 fatality.
And everyone freaks out about the one fatality, of course, and not about the thousands of other people that die every day because of guns or because of car crashes or drunk driving or what have you.
So, yeah, and you're right, absolutely. And it's astonishing to me that because of internet activism, social media activism now, that you can sit behind a board and a keyboard and just type away and yammer on because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
They're a bunch of keyboard killers. Or you can hide behind a TV desk at CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC and invoke panic for your ratings and not report the complete news.
But, again, let's look at it. 45,000 people versus 1. Where was the outcry? Where was the outrage? Where was the anger? Where was the fear for those 45,000 people? Where was it? Nowhere. Because it wasn't sensationalized on the news, TV. You have a better chance of being struck by lightning than getting Ebola.
Yeah.
You have a better chance on getting winning the Mega Millions. This is not. And why won't it become widespread in the U.S.? First of all, because I'm trying to think of a clean way of saying this.
Well, here's my thing real quick. Going back to your point about gun violence. It happens every night that we just get so numb to it. And we get so used to it. But something like Ferguson happens, and everyone freaks out about it because the media covers it. At the end of the day, whatever the media covers is whatever people believe, and it's sad. The media has agendas. The media is biased. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, take it further. It's Republicans and Democrats together. They're both in on this one together. I'm everybody knows I'm pretty much a liberal, and I'm a little bit more fiscally conservative than I am. So I look at it and I'm like, here we are. We're on the heels of a midterm election. This election, because of this story, and because of the panic that has just ran, this is like a wildfire. And I would like to thank Democrats for waiting so long to even consider that we could lock down the borders. And I'm not saying to do it. It's going to be mean, and it's going to hurt. And I got to hold my wee-wee. It's going to hurt. It's going to be offensive. No, stupid. No. It's not how it is. What I'm saying is, you restrict travel for 14 to 21 days. This is the incubation period of the illness of Ebola, and you restrict. And we had procedures and protocols that were in line after 9/11. So they are in place. These things are in place where you can restrict travel from Liberia or even the continent of Africa just temporarily for 14 to 21 days. I'm not saying kick everybody out. I'm saying just everybody stay put for a while so we can get a cap on this. That's number one, is restrict.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Democrats waiting so long to even come up with that. And Republicans, you guys aren't off scot-free either, because when you were bitching about Obamacare, you stripped the budget and you took money away from the CDC. So you're in on it too. So everybody, from waiting too long and handling this like a bunch of bumbling fools, and then turning around and how many times can our president walk out there? And I'm a Democrat. How many times can our president walk out there and go, "Yeah, we screwed up"? Yes, I mean, this guy is so apologetic about everything. And like I said, I'm a Democrat. I work for Hillary. I mean, look what I've done. But this right here is just something that I will place on both Republicans and on both Republicans and Democrats.
What about all these hospitals that didn't have the precautions and weren't doing anything right, and now they're like, yeah, we screwed up. Sorry about that. Like all that thing that's going on in Dallas. And this nurse, like, what is your take on that? Like, that's ridiculous. Then now you say you're sorry because you were caught. Like, why not be the good?
It's a little late. I mean,
yeah.
And like I said, the conversation that we need to be having is, screw the election right now. I sat up for 24 hours, rewriting whole sections of stump speech because of just this. This midterm election was, I believe, was not going to be too terrible for Democrats. But now I truly believe that because of these 4 cases and 1 fatality, and chances are by the time I'm done finishing this sentence, somebody will die from something. And so what I'm really stuck on is we knew and we know that these diseases are making a comeback. They're showing up in weird places. Why aren't we doing anything about it? And I go back, and I know we talked about it the other night, and I don't mean to repeat myself, but for those that didn't hear it, right now in my mind, in my heart, the difference between basically Democrats and Republicans, it's basically like a bowl of crap sitting in front of a mirror, staring back at each. The Republicans are a party of no ideas, and the Democrats are a party of bad ideas. The Republican will stand up and say, "I got an idea," and then the Democrats will stand up and say, "I can make it crappier." So, right now, I think we just all need to just take it down a notch. And, and I'm sorry if it sounds a little bit goofy. But
No. We need this. We need the honest truth. Because I don't know who to believe. It's sad, or not sad, but it's a weird moment when I have to listen to you to get the truth and not go to a news organization like CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC. Like,
if you really want to know if for the conspiracy theorists out there.
Ugh, I hate them.
Well, I think I tweeted it. I don't know if I tweeted it yesterday or not, but I said, as soon as this hit Ohio and Cleveland was, like I said, there's a doomsday prepper somewhere in rural Ohio squeezing his pee-pee right now saying, "Oh boy, I told you, damn, I got that Ebola kit. See, I told you." And so we've got, everybody's just losing their minds. My mom is a proud UAW worker, and at her work, and it goes back to what I said earlier. At her work, she called this morning, and real early this morning, and said that they sent a woman home that said that she was on the plane with this nurse. And I go back to what I said before. Oh my God, everybody knows this woman. Either that, or we've got an airplane out there that's the size of an aircraft carrier that I'm unaware of. I don't want to make too much light of it, but I try to point to my younger friends and tell them, hey, look, HIV. And I'll stick with that one. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. And we were able to fight through it. And here we are. 20, 30 years later, and we can control it. There's people. I've got a friend of mine that's been HIV positive since 1982.
Wow.
And because of the advances that we've made in medicine, he is still alive. And that's, when polio was eradicated, it was called the greatest humanitarian achievement of our time. And everybody that's worried, and there's some people that are legitimately scared. And for those who, I just want to say, just settle down a little bit. Everybody just take a break. And that's why I'm glad to be joining you guys, because I've had to be serious all day today, and I thought in my head, I honestly thought I was going to bend over and run head first into a wall, because I've had to repeat this over and over in a more, business type, expression, and I see the fear in people's faces, but, you really, you could go lick the doorknob, for God's sake, and you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
So you're going to get struck by lightning before you get this. So, like I said, and then we go back to the 45,000 people who died from fatal car crashes and handguns or guns. Period. I go back to the 45,000. You want to put it in perspective. Ebola is right now in the U.S. You take a single house on your block. That's what it is. The 45,000 that are dying from fatal traffic accidents and guns is like taking out two to three small suburbs and wiping them out completely. Saying your suburb has about 19,000 people. That is, if you put it in perspective and you really open your eyes a little bit and you think, that's like taking out two whole suburbs of 45,000 people.
Wow.
You just stop and think about it for a second. Your whole two suburbs are gone. They're all dead. They're all gone. And so right now we're talking about one house. And so I think that because of our socioeconomic opinions, I guess, and our geopolitical, Bill Clinton was very clear about this years and years ago after he was president and started the Clinton Global Initiative. He said, we are living in a world that is so interdependent. And we are interdependent, and this is very much a testament of what he was talking about, was that we are in a world that everything is going to affect us, and we're going to affect everything else. So, and if this is any indication, and this is something that I thought about last night, it scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But if you look at this as a test, which it's not, so don't everybody start Illuminati and again conspiracy. But if this was a preparation or a test of what would happen if we had an outbreak of smallpox, or if we had plague came back or whatever, if these four cases, and reading Twitter and Facebook and watching the news, if this was a test, we have flunked brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean,
my mouth is dry. Talk, Brian. You've got permission.
Here's my thing. I'm left speechless because, you literally just spoke the truth. I feel like
isn't that a new concept? The truth. Holy crap!
Holy crap, not lying and spreading agendas, but actually saying it how it is and saying facts and speaking the truth. I'm not saying you should get your own show right away, but like, I learn more things from you than I do from turning on the major news networks because I don't know what to believe. You're a genius. You're a legend.
Oh God, my ego can't fit through the door. No, I'm just somebody who, I spent a lot of time in school. Every time I got pissed off at somebody, I went and got another degree.
See, I never paid attention when I was in school. I was checking out girls and playing calculator games, so that didn't help me. Now I'm going into radio.
You were doing the whole hello upside down thing on the old Casio. But no, I mean, if everybody just, if you think the government is in on this, let me tell you something. If you really think that President Obama set this whole thing up as before the election, if you think that President Obama and his cabinet and his people set this up,
then you're an idiot.
Well, not only are you an idiot, you're giving those people way too much credit because I don't think they could come up with this on their own. So, just relax. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. But, I had to, like I said, I've done pressers today. I've done enough of them that it was like I'm looking at these, even, the engineers that are working, their eyes are just shocked. And it's like, why are we, and I think, Twitter has been, I think, a double-edged sword. I think it's been a great way to communicate globally.
It's the new newspaper. It's how I get my news.
Well, and now because of ISIS, and you're right, and because of ISIS, we have journalists that are not willing to go, abroad and cover these stories.
All right, we got to take a quick break, but we're going to come back with more from one of my mentors, one of my good friends, Dexter. You can follow him on Twitter at Radio Dexter. Do it right now. We will be right back on the Hoppy and Super Red Show here on The Edge. After this, hang on.
The Hoppy and Super Red Show. This is an official broadcast of Hoppy Radio. For more info, check out hoppyradio.com and hoppysworld.com.